We have only a little bit of traffic officers, but we are going to handle this whole event. Okay, I'm just going to give you the routes from here. We are going out. We have the traffic officials at this point, and then we are going right through Mars Street. We are going.
We've got Iman Solomons. She was playing outside her house in the Cape, and when gangs shot at each other, and she was little Poppy that was murdered by her family members, and Bandiles Kosana. Bandiles Kosana's head was crushed with bricks and stones. And this little boy, I think he was 8 years old. Thank you everybody for being at this event. It's actually for you guys, and I'm honored to be here.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you that in this day, in this hour, we can take a stand with you.
The man of the day, or the cause of the day, is represented by Mornay. Therefore, I'm going to hand the floor to him, because he has a journey of fighting for those that is unable to fight for themselves.
I'm honored to be here, also to the traffic department, the fire brigade, all the other people that's here, especially those women that fight so hard, also to fight and to combat gender-based violence, murder, crime, rape, etc. I would like to thank you guys and everybody here for having an ear and to make time to listen to the people of South Africa. It is them speaking now. It is not me, it's them. They are screaming, they are crying, and they are begging for justice and also for the end of gender-based violence, sexual assaults, rape, and also murder in our country. I want to speak to you about 41 minutes, 102 minutes, and 16 days. 41 minutes. I think about, you name it. I think about somebody that lost their lives in your community early in June, Nale. She was murdered outside an event just around the corner from here. I read her story. I posted a story on Facebook. I've got a huge platform there. Let's speak about Anna Cornelius. Let's speak about Segufatse Kule. Let's speak about a little boy called Amaro Viana. A little boy that actually witnessed how his mother got raped repeatedly, and then had to witness how she died. And then his hands and his feet was tied behind his back, and he was drowned in boiling water. Let's speak about Amaro Viana and the Viana family. Also the father was killed that same day. Let's speak about Amaro Viana, because he is one of the children that was brutally murdered in our nation. And 41 minutes is the time it will take you and me to read the names of the murdered children that was murdered just last year in our country. That means if I start right now, And I start reading the names. Iman Solomons, Tasney van Wyk, Amaro Viana. And I carry on and I read 25 names every minute. It will take me 41 minutes to read the names of the murdered children in 1 year in our nation. It will take you 102 minutes to read the names of 2,555 women that was murdered last year in our nation. In 1 year. We think about Tshegofatse Pule, Anna Cornelius, Naledi. I know about that young child that was murdered just a while ago, and when the community took matters into their own hands. And today, as we drove on our way here, I saw a couple of dogs that as soon as they heard the sirens, they ran into their houses. This is extremely important for the community of Mossel Bay to understand that once the traffic department and the police is out there showing who they are, here to protect, that the criminals in this town will flee, they will run, because they know there's a police presence in this town. Let's speak about the 102 minutes of murdered women in our nation. It's time. The day when you were born to the day that you die. We only have one life. Then it is gone. Forever gone. Forever. We will never have that day and that time again. Today we will never have over again as well. After today, today is gone. I ask the community in Mossel Bay to please love one another. Men, honor and respect the women in your lives. Be a role model to the youngsters around you. If you have issues dealing with alcohol, drug abuse, seek treatment. I did. Others can do the same. I'm an alcoholic. I'm clean now for 2.5 years. And God has worked a work in my life where I can now stand up and say, enough is enough. I'm not married and I have no children yet. I fight for women, children and men. More than 17,000 men who was murdered last year in our nation. 17,000, more than 17,000. 48 men lose their lives every day. Today, unfortunately, 3 children will be murdered. Unfortunately, today in our nation, 7 women will be murdered. Let's talk about 16 days. 16 days is the time of this campaign in Mossel Bay. 16 days. Do you know, if I read the names of the woman that was sexually assaulted in South Africa in the last 10 years, and I start right now, by the time this campaign ends, I will still read those names. It will take me 16 and a half days, reading 25 names every minute. By the end of these 16 days, I will still read the names of women that get sexually assaulted in our nation. We have, unfortunately, a nation that is one of the top nations in the world when it comes to crime statistics. Unfortunately, we must be the change. It's us, it's you and me. We need to change our thinking, our way of speaking to women and children. Thank you very much for accepting me in Mossel Bay. This now is where I'm going to stay. That actually rhymed. I'm going to stay in Mossel Bay, guys, because it's a beautiful place. You have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful...
You can't sleep at night wondering when her abusive father will come through that door to satisfy himself by forcing himself upon her or abusing her in a brutal How many of you have experienced it? When I was on my way home from school, and I was walking through this alley, and out of the blue, two guys jumped in front of me, demanding my phone and my watch. And the moment I said no, it's like this guy lost his mind.
1,014 children, 2,555 women, and more than 17,000 men were murdered in South Africa. That is a shocking amount of people, nearly 3 people every hour. We also reported 42,289 rape cases during 2019. We say no to these senseless acts of violence and pledge the following. As a South African, I recognize that violence against women and children is the manifestation of a profound lack of respect, a failure by us to recognize the inherent equality and dignity of women and children, and that it is a violation of their fundamental human rights. I acknowledge the adverse effects violence has on the country. I acknowledge the profound psychological and physical trauma violence has on women and children, their families, on the community. I acknowledge the impact violence has on economic growth and reducing the quality of life for all. I therefore commit to playing my part in ending gender-based violence by being a positive role model, a mentor, and not allowing any form of violence to take place without doing something about it. I commit to ensuring safer communities for women. I commit to building a safer future for our children. I commit to being part of the change. I say, enough is enough. We, the people of Mossel Bay, to do better, respect our women and children, and fight violence. This is where it ends. So we all say, enough is enough. Enough. Thank you.
Representing all of them.